Greetings all, it's the Mad Respect, and I'm back again. Just got done, well, not done, but just got back from the library, and I thought I'd show off this big old stack of graphic novels that I brought home with me. No novels this time, unfortunately, but let's go through them. Start with the top. This is a little one called The Gashly Crumb Tinies by Edward Gorey. I already read this. I read this in about 5 minutes. It's an A to Z of all these little children and the way they expire or die. And on the back you have all their gravestones. And the art is very reminiscent of Tim Burton, but this came out in the 40s, so I assume this is one of the influences on Tim Burton's animation work and illustrations. And we have Girl from the Other Side, Steal a Run, story and art by Nagabi. This is volume 10. At the end of the last volume, Shiva has a transformation that, if you've been reading it, that has been the main tension of the story. Looking forward to seeing what happens next in regards to that. And these two I grabbed off the shelf because they're classics. We got Batman Hush, Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Nothing else needs to be said there. Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, and Lynn Varley. This one has an introduction by Frank Miller and Brian Azzarello. I wonder if it still has the Alan Moore. Maybe I'll use that as a forward. There's quite a lot of additional material in here. It's like an interview with Frank and Brian Azzarello, and then a newspaper clipping by James Olsen. Maybe they put Alan Moore in the back. Has some sketches in the back. Has a script in the back. Nope, they took out the original Alan Moore introduction from the original versions of the trade paperback. Next up we have Flashpoint, The World of Flashpoint, featuring Batman. In general, I've heard a lot about the Batman portion of the Flashpoint universe, about how it's Bruce Wayne who dies in the alley, and his parents, his father, becomes the Batman in that reality, and his mother becomes the Joker. I've never actually had a chance to read it, and looks like this is by Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo, who have done some really great books together. So looking forward to check this out in particular. And those three I just grabbed off the shelf while I was there. And here's some holds I had. Miles Morales. This is Volume 4, Ultimatum. This takes place after Absolute Carnage. And I believe this begins the prelude to the Clone Saga, which is going on right now in the books. So I have been enjoying this new Miles Morales series. It's been okay. Continue. And here we have some Star Wars. We have the New Republic Volume 5. This is the Dark Empire Trilogy. This was the first new Star Wars comic that kind of coincided with the re-release of the special edition Star Wars movies, and Dark Horse started publishing new Star Wars material in that year. I remember I collected the original series, Dark Empire. I wish I would have held on to those, but I didn't. But this has the full trilogy by, I believe this is by Tom Veitch. Yeah, Tom Veitch, with the majority of the art being by Cam Kennedy. This is an alternate version of what happens after Return of the Jedi with the original trilogy cast. Next two are Batgirl, The Joker War, and Detective Comics, The Joker War, Ugly Heart. Is it called Ugly Heart? It says on my hold it's called Ugly Heart. Oh, weird. Yeah, on the website where I checked it out, it's called Ugly Heart. That's weird. So, last time I went to the library, I got the Nightwing volume of Joker War. So now I have both of these guys. And I have the floppies of the James Tinian Batman run. So I may find a reading order and put it in order and see how it reads that way, as opposed to just reading the Batman single issues. This one I've been waiting a long time to read. This is Batman, Creature of the Night. It's by Kurt Busiek and John Paul Leon. This is a real-world Batman fan who spent his life reading the comics, and things are going not so well for him in the real world, so he becomes a vigilante to emulate Batman. Heard about this a long time ago. The library never had a copy up until this month, and I made sure I got one of the first copies because I've been wanting to read that for a long time. Undiscovered Country. This is Volume 2. This is by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule with Kevin Coley on the artwork. This probably goes down as the wordiest series I read in 2020. But as wordy as it is, it doesn't totally turn you off the book to where you can't read it. And some books are wordy but not propulsive. This does have a propulsive storyline that held my interest, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Volume 2. This is Spy Island, a Bermuda Triangle mystery. This is by Chelsea Kane. I first started reading Chelsea Kane with her Heartsick novels about Gretchen Lowell. It's like maybe a 4 or 5 book series, and I recommend that to anybody out in the community. They're very excellent thriller novels. Gretchen Lowell is like a female Hannibal Lecter, but after her writing career stalled because she got signed to, I think, a major who she wrote a couple books for, who then dropped her and won't give her books back. She decided to go into comics, and she's done Mockingbird and a series called Man-Eaters. And this is by the creative team of Man-Eaters, and this is a Spy Island, a Bermuda Triangle mystery. I had the first floppy of this. I paged through it. What I did like about it is that from cover to cover to back cover to front cover to back cover, no ads, 100% story. If there are ads in here, they were ones they created for the comic, so that was interesting. So looking forward to reading it all in one bit. And I've got myself some Sex Criminals. 1, 2, Volume 4. Last time I was in, I got Volume 3. Here's Volume 6. And next time I go to the library, I have a hold on Volume 5, so I will have the full run on Sex Criminals, and I'll just plow right through it from start to finish. Next up, we have You Look Like Death, Tales from the Umbrella Academy. This is a Klaus solo story, and it's written by Gerard Way and Sean Simon. I'm not sure when this takes place in the timeline, but it's about Klaus, who's called the Seance in the comics, and they don't really mention what their code names are in the TV series. They just call them by their number, but he is called the Seance, and this is a Klaus-centric solo book. This is a good one. Cullen Bunn with Andy McDonald. It's called Rogue Planet, published by Oni Press. I got one of the first one of these. It went on. Put a hold on it right away when I saw it come into the catalog, so I'm happy to get a copy of this right away. Looks like a good sci-fi horror. This is another one I grabbed off the shelf. As opposed to hold. This is Preacher. This is book 1. They have the entire series in 5 books. I know I've read the first arc of Preacher once upon a time, but it's been so long ago that I want to. I probably just wait till I get them all and read it all at once. So another one off the shelf. It's called Imaginary Fiends. This is by Tim Seeley and Stephen Millar. Back it says it takes a monster to fight a monster. It's got pretty cool cover art, so looking forward to seeing what that's about. Here we got last year's guilty pleasure among the community, it seems, is Transformers meets My Little Pony: Friendship in Disguise. This is by Tony Fleeks, it looks like, and Ian Flynn. Tony Fleeks is the artist on Stray Dogs right now, or the writer, one or the other. But I'll give it a spin, see how it goes. Another one I grabbed off the shelf. This is Nameless by Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham. I read part of this last year in the fall and had to go back at some point. I didn't finish it, so I grabbed it to read it again. Here we got Stephen King and Owen King's Sleeping Beauties graphic novel adaptation, and it's by Rio Yowers and Allison Sampson. This is part 1 of this graphic novel. Next we have Star Wars Operation Starlight. This is by Charles Soule and Ramon Rosanas on art. This is volume 2 of the current running Star Wars series. Next we have Oblivion Song Chapter 5. This is by Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici. I think there's one more after this, and then the series is done. No, there must be 2. I think it goes to 36. So possibly 1, possibly 2, I'm not sure. But when this left off, the guy who had been living in Purgatory, or the wasteland part of reality, got back to the regular Earth, and the one who went to find him is now trapped there, so kind of flips the script of how it's been going. Last time I went to the library, I got Jupiter's Legacy Volume 1. This is Volume 2. This is by Mark Millar and Frank Quietly. I believe the show comes on next week on Netflix, so I'll kind of probably try to put this towards the top of the stack so I can go into the show after reading the full story. Another Mark Millar book is Starlight, The Return of Duke McQueen by Millar and Goran Parlov. I guess this has also been optioned either for a film or not sure. I just saw that number 1 was on the Hot 10 recently, so got the book from the library. Here's Iron Man Volume 1. This is by Christopher Cantwell and Kafu. This is the new ongoing Iron Man title with great cover art by Alex Ross. I am collecting the floppies on this because Iron Man's one of my first ever superheroes I started to read at the very beginning of my beginning for me with the hobby. So it's been a long time since I collected Iron Man, but I decided to start with that title because I'm new back into reading floppies again. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 11. This is Last Remains. This is by our friend Nick Spencer. Let's see if that cool cover's in here. That's blasphemy, man. They don't have the all-time classic Gleason action. Oh, maybe it's actually in the... It's probably in there, because... Must be in there, because it was the actual A cover. There it is. Comic I can't get my hands on. The original cover, 55. I have the red and the green, the red and the blue, but I can't find the silver one, or not willing to pay what it goes for. But this is Last Remains. This is what the series has been building up to since issue 1. Who is what's his name? Who is Kindred? I already know who he is because I don't stay away from spoilers as well as I could. And finally, The Vein. This is by Elliot Ray Hall and Emily Pearson. The covers look pretty cool. I saw this. I almost checked this out in floppy, but I had been putting way too much on my pull list, so I'm surprised it's actually out in collected form this quickly, because I think it just came out in like November or something. But that's that Big Sack Comics that I got from the library this time. It's taken a long time to get through these, but I'll have some of them read in one of my later videos coming up. I'll have some reviews on this as always. And when I was at the store, I found these guys. They're pretty cool. I found Venom Pez and Miles Morales Pez. So those are fun to find. And then coming up on the channel, my pre-orders have already escaped Troutdale, Oregon. They were actually only there for 5 hours this time instead of 5 days. It was pretty crazy to see them actually. They're in the morning. They should be on a truck. It goes from Oregon, north of me, to Burlington, and then the truck comes back down and drops me off. I don't understand how that works. Does it have to go to each hub or something to someone sign a fucking clipboard? I have no idea how that works, but all I know is where I'm at is way south of Burlington and north of Portland. So why doesn't it just stop on the way and drop it today instead of having to go to Burlington in the morning? I don't get it. Anyway, so that's coming up on the channel is a pre-order unboxing. We're getting there. I picked up a subscriber. We're now 10 away. We have a 50 subscriber giveaway. Here we are. We have Spider-Man #1 in the polybag, signed by Todd McFarlane, the Todd Father, in a newsstand. Can't have it graded because they'll tear the bag off when it gets to Florida and you lose the signature. But if you just want a raw copy with Todd Father's signature, it's right there. We're giving it away at 50. So if you guys have read any of this, leave me a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. If you also like the video, and like I said, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because this will be given out here in hopefully the very near future. So everybody, take care. Bye bye.